So now we will use the strain energy concept in the impact loading, that how we can relate the energy of the object which is hitting the other object with the strain energy for the tensile test that we have discussed earlier. So in impact loading, the stresses generated inside the body that are usually more than the static loading. Because of this high velocity, the stresses magnifies. So we will understand how impact loading increases the stresses inside the body. So here is the round sphere of mass m moving with velocity v naught and hitting the uniform cross-sectional rod having area A and length L. So when it hits with the body of mass m moving with velocity v naught, rod deforms under impact. Stresses reach a maximum value sigma m and then disappears. So we have to determine the maximum stress. What is that maximum stress? There are some assumptions under the analysis of the impact loading. We assume that the kinetic energy is transferred entirely to the structure. So whole of the entire kinetic energy of this ball which hits this rod is completely transferred to this rod. So the strain energy, the total strain energy is equal to 1 over 2 mv naught square, which is the kinetic energy. And the second assumption is that a stress strain diagram obtained from a static test is also valid under impact loading. So this is the another assumption, that we will use the tensile test properties in this scenario. So the maximum value of the strain energy for the static loading, for the P over A, for the P that we have discussed earlier in the strain energy concepts. So this was the relation extraction from that portion. So for the case of a uniform rod, if we have uniform rod, then this relations reduces to this one, 2 UME over V. And if all of the kinetic energy is converted into the deformation of this rod, so we can equate this strain energy with this kinetic energy, that the deformation in the rod, the strain energy in the rod, it is due to this kinetic energy. Although in real applications, all of the kinetic energy is not converted into the deformation, but this is assumption of the for the present analysis, that all of the kinetic energy is converted into the deformation of the rod. So all of the strain energy that was associated with the ball which was hitting the rod, that converted into strain energy of the deformation of the rod. So in this way we relate the velocity of the object which is hitting the other object with the maximum value of the stress generated inside this rod. So you can see this relation, that the maximum stress, that is directly proportional to the modulus of elasticity. If the modulus of elasticity it is higher, the stress will be higher. Similarly, it is inversely proportional to the volume of the rod. So higher the volume, lower will be the stresses, and lower the volume, higher will be the stresses. So in designing the equipment, we are interested in the lower value of the stresses. So in this way, higher volumes are required to reduce our stresses. Similarly, in impact problems, the modulus of elasticity, if the modulus of elasticity is lower, so the stresses will be lower. Similarly, the velocity uh, it um, it is dependent on the square of the velocity inside the under root and the mass as well. So these are the properties of the object which is hitting the other object. And E and V, this is the material and the geometric properties of the object which is hit by another object. So this stress depends upon these parameters. This is the uniform cross-sectional case. If we have the rod that have different cross-sectional areas, so we will separately find out the strain energy for each individual section, and then we will sum up for the whole rod. So this is the simple case in which we relate the strain energy of the hitting object to the strain energy of the rod under tensile load conditions. So in this way we can find out the maximum value of the stress. So this is the problem in which we have rod having two sections having reduced area, and the other area is 4 times the area of the other cross of the CD portion. This is the A and this is the 4A. So knowing that the diameter of the portion BC is twice the diameter of the portion CD, determine the maximum value of the stress in the rod. So for this case, we will find out the strain energy under tensile loading for the individual section, and then we will sum up. So to change in diameter, the normal stress distribution is non-uniform. So Um is the strain energy, kinetic energy, that is equal to 1 over 2 mv naught square. Here the volume is not constant, so this is the more generic form, that is not equal to sigma square v over 2e. Yes, it is okay for the specific cross-sectional. So this is the one section in which the area is A, which is the CD portion, P square L or AE. A total length is L. So here we replace the total length by L over 2, and the area is the simple area, plus the strain energy in the other section, that is P square L over 2 divided by 4AE. So this is the combined strain energy for both the sections. So if we have the simple area A and this rod having length L, then it will be equal to P square L over AE. But now with the increase in cross-sectional, sudden increase in cross-section, this is reduced. The strain energy reduces if we have different cross-sections. So we can get the relation for the PM. We are evaluating the maximum stress resulting from the static load. So this is the maximum value of the stress, which is 8 over 5 mv naught square E over volume over A into L. So now we see that the stresses are higher as compared to the previous relation, which was only mv naught square E over AL. So 8 by 5, this is some factor which is increasing the stresses. So if the rod have different cross sections, it means that impact loading will increase the stresses much higher than the rod having uniform cross section. So this is the wrong way of designing some object that you have different cross sections. So So this is another example in which we have cantilever beam and some weight is dropped from some height, and determine the maximum value of the stresses in the beam. Uh, so normal stress varies linearly along the length of the beam as across the transverse section. For the static load Pm, which produces the same strain energy as the impact, we have derived the strain energy for the beam sigma square m divided by 2e. Here the strain energy due to the dropping load is equal to Wh, which is the potential energy. So we do not know the velocity, so we can say that the potential energy was converted to kinetic energy, and that was converted into the strain energy of the rod. So we can use the potential energy as well, but initially it has this kind of energy, having weight and dropping from certain height h. So for end-loaded cantilever beam, we have the relation for the strain energy, which is equal to UMP square L cube divided by 6 EI. We can find out the PM from this relation, and the stresses in the beam are the Flexure formula, MC over I, and moment is the load at this point multiplied by length. So PLC over I, and maximum stress will be equal to 6 UME divided by L or I over C square, and this UM we can relate that the strain energy of the dropping load is converted completely into the strain energy of this beam. So we can replace this UM by this relation, and we can find out the maximum value of this stress. So, so for the case of uniform rod, we have 2 UME over V. So for the case of non-uniform rod, we say that sigma m is equal to 8 UME over V. So we are noting that this is the stress is increasing when we have different cross section of any object. So this is different cross sections, and you are noting that the stress is increasing, right? So for the case of cantilever beam, the stress is just like this, and they are increasing by this term. So impact loading is the type of loading in which the stress is magnified with higher rate, and we have to cater for in our design that our structure must be safe against these impact loads. We have not only cater for the static load, there are structures just like armors, tanks, which are under the impact loading of the bullets and rockets. So in designing of that type of components, impact loading is more critical as compared to the other properties of the material. So this is all about the impact loading, and the major concept in analysis of the impact loading is the strain energy concept, which are relating, and the assumption that all of the kinetic energy of the bullet or any rocket that is converted into the strain energy of the material. This is the fundamental concept of the analysis of the impact load, and in all problems we will use this kind of concept. So in generic, we have discussed three basic type of problems. One is for the rod, one is for the beam, So there may be some other cases, but here we are restricted to this fundamental type of problems. So maximum stress is reduced by the uniformity of stress. Maximum stress is reduced by the low modulus of elasticity with high yield strength. So if we are decreasing the modulus of elasticity, it means that we are decreasing the impact, the influence of the impact load. Similarly, high volume also reduce the maximum stress. So this was all about the impact load.